Not everybody's getting paid.
Let's get back to the television.
You got
No,
two.
you're being a homer.
Come on.
No, he said it.
Don't start me.
No,
He's
not
a bad
bad
man.
anymore.
Go Tigers.
Sound Off is ready. Are you?
Hello, sports fans. Welcome back.
Glad to be back here on Thursday.
We're here at Caesars for SoundOff. Rick Serro still hadn't got back from Philadelphia.
Who knows where he's at? Okay.
Did you watch any of the?
I watched
the
some
golf?
of it. I thought I
heard-
spotted him for a minute, but
Well,
it wasn't
I
him.
thought I recognized his voice from some of those. You're the man. you
I
know,
heard a
from
long
the
shot
Chiefs.
won the tournament. Was
Yeah.
it Rick?
Yeah, Rick,
Well,
boy. He deserves it. That dude deserves it. Yeah, good for Rick, though.
But anyway, we're going to have some fun while he's gone. We've got Chad Hebert.
Yes.
Just won his second straight baseball championship at Sam Houston. And James Landerdale, of course, McNeese softball, fresh off. Look,
Yeah.
didn't turn out the way they wanted to
No.
in College Station, but another great year for the Cowgirls, where they, you talk about basketball and you talk about women's basketball now at McNeese. Softball may be the show pony out there.
Yeah. Coach Landry has held his own.
consistent for so long from
agree,
what,
Brady.
since Landry has been there and helped to create there. I mean, that consistency is so infectious to every other program
Yes.
because they look at it and say, that can be us as well, right?
I agree.
And with that, Landry just keeps winning.
Yeah.
Just keeps winning.
And
a lot
listen,
of good nuggets in
Meanwhile,
that conversation.
We're taping on Monday, but this is Thursday. I get that.
Yeah.
McNeese would start the championship round of the Southland Conference tournament today. I love the way the Southland does the Southland Conference tournament.
The bracket.
It's basically a condensed Omaha bracket.
Yeah.
Where they start off with two different 14 brackets,
Yeah.
two survivors of that play a best 2 out of 3, just
Yeah.
like it is in Omaha.
Yeah.
And particularly, that is a truer match. And they spread it out over 2 weeks, where to finish a tournament, you don't end up pitching left fielders.
Yeah.
Can I have an unpopular opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have postseason tournaments to begin with, especially for these smaller teams?
Well,
we've played
with that
at this
many
point,
games,
we've
with
played
that
60
many
games.
games.
We know who it is.
I
because
know.
what
That's a good
happens
point, Brady.
Is too oftentimes a team gets hot and the hot team wins, and that hotness doesn't necessarily carry into the
Carry
tournament.
over.
Yeah.
And so you end up, because a guy has a bad start,
Yeah.
or someone has an amazing start, and all of a sudden, the team that was the best,
It
the
does
team
make
that won
sense, though. It
45
does.
games
Yeah.
since the start of the season.
And if
I
I'm
don't
not hot,
totally
and if I'm not hot,
disagree.
you're right.
And it happens in basketball almost, I think, probably
Yeah.
more so.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but it's never going to happen. They're always going
No,
to have
no,
that
no.
tournament.
And so this
if they're
format
gonna
is
do it.
better. I
and
agree.
but it is better for them. The SEC, what they do is just it's basically an exhibition
Yeah.
for them. And that's fine. It's a little single elimination tournament.
It's for
Let
the fans.
everybody
It is.
show.
It is.
And it
It
is
is.
one of the
Fans.
best things that conference does
It is.
for the fans.
I agree.
But I want to get back
Oh,
to Lane Kiffin.
Scooter, let me tell you, look,
He should not have gone there. He crossed the line.
I don't
that
know.
was unfair to Ole Miss.
it was. And let me say this, and I don't know, you may know more about the
It's
interviewer
too
or
touchy.
everything as to how the question was asked, Brady, because I don't know if the question was asked to him as for him to give that reason, or he could have given some other reason based on how the question was
According
stated
to the
him.
writer, very respected writer too, by the way, in Vanity Fair, not exactly
Yeah.
the sporting news.
Yeah.
Right.
But according to the writer, he went there on his own.
Well, that's Lane, okay? But look, let me say this. Even with Lane being Lane, I think the thing that kind of got him in a little bit of a conundrum is the answer that he gave, the reason why. He didn't have to say that. He just could have said, like when he first came to LSU, when you look around, guys, things are different. That was his first comment that he made at his press conference, Brady. But going where he went I've got to say that was to a degree a little bit unfair to Ole Miss. Now, everybody watching that, parents that's got kids that's even considering going to Ole Miss.
2 points. 2 points. I would ask the writer, why didn't you ask Lane if all this was going on, you know, granddaddies don't want their kids going to Ole Miss?
When you was there.
What did you tell the kids when they told you that? Because you obviously got a lot of them to come.
You did.
Number 2, if they're having to use grandparents against Ole Miss, that tells you Ole Miss has made a lot of progress in the last 30 years.
Yeah, it was rough when I played there. You saw things like, huh? What? I'm just here to play a game. What? I'm looking up in the stands like, what?
And I think I think it's less about what is and isn't accurate, because I believe that those conversations probably did have, especially because he didn't say parents. He said grandparents, which means they probably remember the sordid history from, was it, 1962?
Yes.
You know,
right?
Yes.
The dirty little secret is most schools in the South and a bunch in the North have those skeletons in their
Exactly.
They do.
There's some that are much more public.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's some that everyone is in a significantly better place today than they were in 1962.
I'm saying it is such a delicate subject.
And it is.
It is.
And it's no use in Lane Kiffin bringing it up, trying to throw
At
it.
what end?
It's too important a subject to be used as fodder for recruiting.
And I 100% agree.
And the thing, Scooter, I don't know if that was in a way to make his reason for coming to LSU. He says that's pretty much why was because of that. It was certain things that you couldn't do because of the stigma that was put on Ole Miss. Now, I'll go a little bit further.
Gotten over it.
When we played Alabama, things were kind of close to that same situation.
Really?
When we played Alabama. But go back and look now. When you
That's
get
back
a coach.
That's back in the 80s.
80s. But look at
Or
Nick
was it
Saban.
the 30s?
Look
The
at stop it.
1900s, as they say.
Look at Nick Saban there. You would never believe that.
Well, that's true.
You would never believe that, okay? And that's how far I think Brady Sports has come right now, because I think to a degree, it's the people you have at these institutions that's doing what's right.
Okay. Bottom line, he shouldn't have gone there.
He went too far.
Yeah. We're going to keep going anyway, and we'll be right back after this.
Every day is a seafood festival at where else? Seafood Palace, Lake Charles. David Papanilla and the crew serve up the freshest and best prepared boiled crabs and shrimp, award-winning fried catfish and shrimp. You can eat light or go big and hearty. From the border to the basin, it's the legendary Seafood Palace.
When disaster strikes, you don't have time to wonder who to call. At Reclaim Restoration, we're your trusted partner, 24/7, 365. Whether it's fire, water, or storm damage, we rebuild, renew, and revitalize your property and your peace of mind. Locally trusted, nationally certified, and voted Acadiana's Choice 2024. Call Reclaim Restoration today at 337-445-6499 and take the first step toward reclaiming your life.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello. Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
Okay, we're back again, round 2
Yes.
of Thursday nights of Sound Off. And we are joined by yet another championship coach.
Right here locally.
But he's beginning to make a habit of it. Second straight year.
Wow.
Chad Hebert has won the state championship with his Broncos and Sam Houston, and congratulations. You're starting to make a habit of sitting in that chair, and you got the trophy.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all, I'll tell you.
I know that's right, Coach, man.
All right, before we go any further, we had your counterpart from Westlake on Tuesday, and it came to my attention that Sam Houston and Westlake are both state champions, and neither y'all did not play In the regular season, y'all maybe a mile and a half apart, the schools?
We hadn't played in a while.
Right across the West Fork. Is there bad blood or what there?
I'm down to play anybody, so I can't speak for them. So
I know that's right.
Well, what if we just got it together with both of you? We'd put the championship trophies on top of the dugout and maybe play an exhibition for charity.
Hey, I'm all in.
That would be nice.
I'm all in. That'd be a nice little crowd right there.
You know the question I wanted to ask that I don't know if it came up or not. Has there been two teams to do the exact same thing as to what's happened with Westlake and Sam Houston? Has that happened before?
I think Barb and Iway actually did
Barb
it.
Okay. But Coach, before I go any further, they asking all of these softball questions. Man, what that workout looked like? Tell me, man.
Man, I'm just trying to stay young. I got to keep up with these boys at practice.
Coach, you know what, man? I talk to a lot of people, man.
Kevin's not used to more muscles.
And you are an inspiration, man, to a lot of kids, man. Just because of, people say you're a motivator. And let me tell you, Chad, man, to be a coach, man, you got to have that, man.
Well, I tell people this all the time. With the way baseball's set up now and the travel ball and you got the U development clinic and this guy doing lessons, they've gotten all the baseball knowledge and reps and all that kind of thing. It's the mental grind that they go through in high school. I mean, we played 40 games in 3 months pretty much, so it's the mental part of it that you got to get used to, because a lot of your players that come to a Barb or a Sam Houston have not failed when they were a kid. Right. They get to you and they fail a little bit or they don't play right away. You spend as much time as being a psychiatrist as you do being a coach.
That's what I hear about you, Coach. You're good at it.
Well, there's nothing to help with that more than consistency. And with you guys winning last year, y'all did it in a much different way, right? 11th seed to win it this year, coming from the top at the 2 seed. But a lot of parallels. You get to the championship game, lose night 1, have to battle back to win the next 2, and then you start the same kid and then are able to close out with the same kid again in the same order. That type of storyline has to be one that's pretty special as a coach, I'm sure.
Well, you get to the playoffs and it's 2 out of 3. So you're going to make a plan, and we stuck to our plan.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it happened the same way last year as it did this year, where we swept the first several rounds, only played 2, so our game 3 guy was only throwing on the Tuesdays at inter squad. Well, when you do that, I think my opinion is they don't have a lot of info on our game 3 guy. We rolled Britton out there, and they weren't ready for that. And he's a little bit softer than some of the guys that we throw, but he lands 3 for a strike. And so they had saw 90 the previous 2 games, and then we come in with 85 with a change
kind of messed them up a little bit. Yeah, they wasn't expecting that.
It threw them off a little bit. And so, like I tell our guys, we're going to stick to the plan. And we lost game 1. I just looked everybody in the face and I said, history repeats itself. Let's get on the bus and go.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to complain about winning the early series in 2 games. At least you didn't go there.
And so my thing with the early series and winning in 2 games is when you get to 2 out of 3, you got to play the 34 games on your schedule, and you got to be okay with losing a few, because you got to figure out who your bullpen is, because when you get to 2 out of 3, the bullpen plays a big part. And so during the year, we played around with a lot of different things, and once we figured out that kind of Donaldson was our go-to out of the bullpen, and we had a couple bridge guys with Harlow, who was really good last year in the playoffs and threw limited this year in the playoffs just because it didn't work out. And then we took Brock and made him a bullpen arm, who was probably our number 3 for most of the year. But when you get to that 2 out of 3, and we had enough guys to where we had a true bullpen, it played in our favor when we got to the state championship.
I really think, if you don't mind, it's important to point out Owen Galley and what he's been able to do. A McNeese commit. He had 33 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run.
And
going into the 7th inning of the postseason.
He did, and look, I tell everybody, game 1 was on me. He went into the 7th with 70 pitches. Probably could have went to Donaldson right there, but look, that's my guy. I got confidence in him. I roll him out there. The first guy gets on, I'm like, in my head, we're only up 1-0. They're going to bunt. Well, we hit him, and so I'm like, well, I'm going to keep him out there again. They're going to bunt, and he gets on. I'm like, well, we ain't buying now. And it worked out the way it did, but
Coach, I've got a question kind of off, but still on baseball. When you look at a team such as an LSU, you've been a head coach at a high school. What do you think has happened to the Tigers, in your perspective, as to going from a national championship team to where they're at right now? Tell me what happens to a team that, when that happens, If you can give us some input.
I think
maybe what you know.
I think I've listened to that guy talk 100 times, and I truly believe that he's the best baseball coach in the country.
No doubt.
Without a doubt. After hearing him talk, I think the guy's the best baseball coach in the country. But he said it on national TV. The portal is a gamble, and culture is king nowadays. If you have, like, I tell people this all the time, especially coming from high school where playing time is king and all that stuff. Culture is king because a bad locker room a good locker room won't win you a game, but a bad locker room will damn sure lose you one.
I totally agree.
And when that happens, and you get things, and the other thing is, I talked to Jay not too long ago.
Yeah.
The average arm in the SEC that's a starter is 91 to 94. The average reliever is 94 to 97. If you play at Grand Canyon University, you see 94, 97 once a month. In the SEC, you see it every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So again, going back to what we talked about, you hit 420 at whatever mid-major you came from, and then when you see 94, 97 3 times a week, and you might get your one knock instead of the 4 you got last week, the confidence starts to waver. And
makes sense.
And when that happens, it's just not easy to recover from.
And as you mentioned, baseball is so much more mental than probably outside of golf, any other sport.
I mean, you watch it. There's I tell people this all the time. I watch it in college all the time. There's very few guys that can pinch hit in college because there's 1 or 2 ways to look at it. As a pinch hitter, the really good ones go up there and go, I'm supposed to fail. I mean, I've been in the dugout for 4 hours and I'm fixing to get in the back. I'm supposed to get out.
The pressure's not even on me.
And then he gets hit.
I'm not even worried about it.
And then on the other hand, you got a different kid that walks up there and goes, I'm pinch hitting. I got to get a hit right here so that I can get another opportunity. The kid that goes, if I get out, who cares? I'm just going to blame it on pinch hitting. That kid survives and he's a pretty good player.
I totally agree.
Okay, congratulations.
Yes, Coach. Big win.
And we'll save that seat for you for next year.
I'm hoping so.
Go for
Definitely,
that
Coach.
three-peat.
Thank you so much for coming on,
Coach.
Coach.
We'll be right back with McNeese softball coach James Landreneau.
People do anything to make their beer cold. Try viral hacks. Use outdoor fridges. Freezers too. Oops. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. Because people don't just like beer. People like cold beer.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
Reclaim Restoration is your trusted partner serving Southwest Louisiana from Lake Charles to Lafayette. Whether it's fire, water, or storm damage, call Reclaim Restoration today at 337-445-6499 and take the first step toward reclaiming your life.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello. Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
We're back again with a regular visitor to this show, McNeese softball coach James Landreneau. Welcome back from another NCAA trip. I know it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but your overall impressions of the College Station region.
Look, fabulous, right? I mean, they do a remarkable job. The stadium is probably the best that you'll see in the country.
Yeah.
Tons of workers. It's very professional. Great softball. Texas A&M and ASU coming out the victory, winning that season, and obviously a UConn team that won their league. So just a great experience. That they treat you well. It's ran really professional. It feels like postseason play in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
I know you've had a hand on this program from assistant to now head coach for a while. Since 2014, 40-plus wins 8 times, 7 NCAA appearances. The standard is set for what you now expect, and I think any of the girls that come in know what the standard is. You obviously can keep that up as head coach and go how to continuously motivate. What about everyone inside the program and kind of outside that helps affect it? How do you keep them saying that last year was last year, this is this year? How do you keep that going?
I think that's always our first conversation when teams come in August. You guys, we as a staff and as coaches haven't done anything yet. It's this team that matters. Nothing that's happened before guarantees what we're going to have this year. And that's always a hard concept. Sometimes kids come in and think just because Other teams had success that entitles them to success. Right. It does. It's the work that you put in, and what are you going to do together, collectively as a group, that are going to put you in position to be successful in tough situations. And, it's not easy. I mean, as far as just the conversations of keeping people grounded and realize how hard it is to be able to win at a high level.
I agree. And one of the things, Coach, that you've always done when coming on the show consistently is talk about, I want to get those tough games. I want my team to be prepared for later on in the season when you face somebody that's tough, that we've already played those type of games, so they're familiar with those type games. But the thing that I sit here and I think about, Coach, and like Rick say, I ponder. You're probably one of the most consistent coaches at McNeese. I'm gonna say for winning and doing it consistently. Coach, what's kept you here, man?
Man, I appreciate the kind words. And look, I don't have those wins without having great players, right?
I agree.
You're able to get great players to come in with the facilities and things, and that's what allows us to be consistent. Look, I love the community.
They love you.
They've been great to us. We're able to get good players in. We're in a position where we can make an NCAA tournament, and those things matter. You want to play at the highest level, and you want to get to that tournament. So can you put yourself in a position where you feel you could get the players in, and you're going to have an opportunity to play in an NCAA tournament? And that's what we tell kids when you come here. Look, we've been fortunate when this senior class that's going out this year won 5 championships. Wow. And some people never win championships.
5, Coach.
And no kid that's ever played in our program since I've been a head coach, if you played 2 years, you got a ring, right? No kid's ever not gotten a ring if you played for more than 2 years. So that's part of selling point to get kids.
Yeah,
it is. You want to play for a championship,
Coach.
And play in that. Being able to play in a championship game for a conference championship or tournament championship is something a lot of people don't get a chance to do so. So we don't ever want to take it for granted. Those rights are earned. You have to put in the time, but it's also something you'll never forget.
I totally agree.
Obviously, to win the national title is everyone's goal when you start, but it starts with the conference title, and then it goes to regional. That's the next step, the next crown that's yet to conquer. What do you think as a program, I don't want to say has to change because they're softball games. Those games, that 4-0 game could have gone either way when it comes. But what do you feel like that you will have to do in those moments that you've identified other schools the size of McNeese, the program size of McNeese, that they've been able to achieve to get to that next level?
Man, it's such a great question, right? It's how can you win that 2-1 game? Because it's going to come down. Offense is always going to fail you. How can you, because there's so many different pieces of the puzzle. You got to look, what does this team need to get a little bit of an edge? And look, it's always going to come down to this. Are you deep enough in the circle? Are you deep enough pitching to keep people not put too much pressure on one kid to have to carry you? And I think so we need depth. We need to be able to have a position where we could be in those things and having depth throughout a lineup. 1 through 9, we need to be able to contribute 1 through 9 and not put ourselves in a position where they can pitch around certain people. So it's about depth.
And I think this question kind of ties into that one is, in this new NIL landscape, that we know how it affects football and baseball and the major men's sports. But what about for McNeese and McNeese softball specifically? How has that new landscape changed the way that you have to roster build now?
Man, that's a really good question. We're all trying to figure out. We're trying to navigate through it. Look, on the opposite end, look, we've been fortunate that it hasn't really destroyed us. We've lost some players before, but we've also got in some good players that came in through the portal, right? Nigel Fontenot that's contributing for us. And it's great to have her back home, hometown girl. Molly Cloud comes home this year for 1 year of eligibility. And Weeks, Maddie Weeks, I call her Maddie Weeks. I'll always call her Ricky. Ricky Weeks. She's like, why do you keep calling me Ricky? Maddie, there's only 1 Weeks I know.
That's right.
But Maddie Weeks transferred. Yeah. And so we've been fortunate to get some good players that come in out the portal. But look what Texas Tech did in the portal, right? They went out and team that hadn't made postseason play in 1 year, they're able to put their team in a College World Series. So it's happening.
And the point that Brady brought up about, how do you navigate the NIL? You had a pitcher, I think, that came here, was getting paid close to $1 million, Coach. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh, yeah, they came play us. I thought they came here to
play us. No.
I missed
Don't say I missed that.
say, whoa, I
They
wasn't
came
out
right
here.
here, Coach. Tell me, what's that like, Coach? I mean, what does that do to a program?
But their whole payroll made more, like
God.
Like if you look at their team payroll,
That's crazy.
It was $3.5 million payroll for that team
What?
had. Yeah. And so it was different. They had that All-American.
Women's softball.
Yeah. And so you just had a booster that cared about his wife played there.
God.
His wife played there, And look, what Texas Tech did, look, he made him relevant in football as well.
He did.
That guy,
He did.
He made him relevant.
He did.
The same
You're right
guy,
about that.
The same guy that led the whole charge.
You're right about that.
Recruiting.
Oh,
It's legal
man.
now. You hadn't heard, Kevin?
Oh, believe me, I know. Believe me, I know. Wow.
Okay, thank you for joining us,
Coach Lansdale, it's always a pleasure.
We'll probably, I guess we'll have you on right before you start up next year. And I'm sure there'll be another trip after the NCAA tournament.
Coach, just stay consistent. That's all you can say.
Hey, we'll be right back to wrap it up here on Sound Off Thursday.
The Horseshoe Lake Charles experience begins with elite gaming in the region's newest and most exciting venue, featuring all your favorite table games and slots. Caesars Sportsbook at Horseshoe is the legend in sports betting, and speaking of legendary, Gordon Ramsay's Steak is above all others, where celebrity chef Ramsay brings his fury of flavor to Southwest Louisiana. Great food and live music at Brews Brothers, and of course impeccable hotel accommodations. Plus, earn big with your Caesars reward card. That's Horseshoe Lake Charles.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
Welcome back. Final round.
Yes, it is.
Short quip. Sound Off 60. Guess who graduated over the weekend?
The big guy.
He graduated from LSU a long time ago, but he got his master's.
Yeah.
The Shaq-aticious, the whole works, whatever.
And let me say, I've met Shaq a number of times. Shaq always
got a story to
is
tell
a
over
big
this.
standout when he comes to the first home game normally at LSU. And I actually met him, and I'll show the picture on Facebook. He said, say, man, you look like somebody I know. Do y'all know the guy that played for the Hawks, Dominique Wilson? Do I look like him? Wilkins.
No.
He said, "Are you kidding?" He made me feel good.
I got one story to tell.
He made me feel good.
My niece graduated in the same class with Shaq when he graduated.
Yeah.
Got his 4-year degree at LSU, which he came back for, and she sat right behind. It was the December graduation,
Yes.
which is a lot smaller class. She was sitting right behind him.
So she didn't see a thing.
No.
She couldn't see anything.
Not a thing, man.
But all her
That's too funny.
classmates, they were laughing because it's a smaller class. Because he had been in the NBA like 4 or 5 years at the time, and they were laughing that the average starting salary for their graduating class is $190,000.
Yeah.
And then they said, and the average height is 6'8".
That was unbelievable, man.
Okay, that'll wrap it up here. Rick will be back
Yes.
next week. We may or may not.
We'll be back.
I guess, we'll be back. Anyway, sounding off for Sound Off.
Not everybody's getting paid.